Hey you guys, happy into summer. I hope you're enjoying. Here we've got the hot weather. It's 108 today. And I just wanted to talk with you as we're getting in the swing of things, getting back toward school time. I wanted to talk with my junior high and high school students that are listening. If you're a parent and you're listening to this, please share this with your teenagers as we get back in the swing of going back into school. I wanted to talk to you students today about listening. Not like lecturing or talking to you about why you should listen better in class, but more on a scope of world changing. Like you guys are, I know everybody says all the time, you're the future, but truthfully and honestly, in the world that we live in, you guys are the now. Like you're changing the world now. You don't need to wait for the future when you're adults. You have social media at your fingertips. You have YouTube. You have all of these ways to communicate and talk with people and start making the changes that you want to make now. Having said that, it's probably imperative that you know how important it is to actually listen. So that doesn't make a lot of sense, I know. Like I'm telling you, speak now, world change now, but I'm telling you that the way you do that is by being a good listener. I have 5 reasons for that. I recently took my son to a conference in Boston, and the speaker that just blew me out of the water was the Georgetown Medical School, the dean at Georgetown Medical School, Dr. Stephen Ray Mitchell. And the thing that he said that was really amazing to me, he said, the 2 things that you need to be a good doctor are a kind, generous heart and to be a listener. And that really struck me because a lot of times we feel like to be powerful and to make changes, we just need to do. We need to be action-oriented and get other people to listen to us to make the changes. But truly, when we are listeners, that makes us the most powerful because first and foremost, we're servants. And when we are servants, think about the greatest leader that you know of, that you've heard of, that you've listened to speak, that you've heard of from history. They always listen to their audience, whether that be a nation, whether it be someone that they're speaking to in a crowd, whether it's one-on-one. They're listening to who is with them so that they can hear the hearts of the people that they're serving. So our most important thing as world changers is to be a servant. And by doing that, by being listeners, we do that. So listeners are leaders. You know those kids at school that are the loudest, the attention seekers. These are not our leaders for the future, students. These are the kids that are the most insecure and that are not able to make a difference without gathering attention and seeking attention into them. We're not looking for attention seekers. We're looking for action doers. So don't be that kid and don't be drawn to that kid because that's not what is going to change our future. That's immediate. That's the here and now. But we're looking for long-term leaders. Those of us that are parents, those of us that are getting kind of old, we're looking to you to be the leader that is going to go past us, go further than us. Not just when we're dead or whatever, but in our capabilities, you are going to soar. And action doers are the listeners that are going to be the leaders. The second thing is listeners validate others. When you listen to someone else, they feel important. And it's not your job to like pat someone on the back and say, oh, I think you're important. It's that you're living outwardly and sharing with other people so that they know that their values matter to you. And so they're going to trust you more. And then you're going to have a relationship. And that's going to be what you go forward with. So you've listened to your audience and you know how to lead them, not just by what you think, but by what they need. The third thing is that listeners have humility. You're humble. Now, this is a really tricky thing because a lot of times we think that humility means non-ego. It's important as a leader and as a world changer. It's okay to have a strong ego. You have to have that. It doesn't mean that you're being cocky or self-whatever. It just means that you feel strong about your convictions and strong about yourself. But what is humble about you and what gives you humility is that you feel that every person on the planet has value, and that you're listening to that, and what they have to say is just as important as what you have to say. You're showing as a listener that you believe that, and that makes you stronger than ever. The last thing I want to talk to you about is listeners are difference makers, and I've been kind of talking about this the whole time, but I want you to feel this very strongly. When you have a listener mentality, you are a difference maker, and you have a difference maker mentality. You are making change by following what you are hearing your peers and the others on this planet saying that they need. Listening is never a bad idea. It's always a good idea. So what I want you to do, teenagers, is I want you to take your phone and I want you to put in your notes, and I want you to set the reminder however often you need to. Maybe once a day is too many. Maybe you need once a day, depending on you personally. I want you to write down 5 questions to yourself, and I want you to make it pop up. Or maybe that's in reminders and not in the notes, whatever. But the first question I want you to write down, I want you to write, am I leading others by listening to their needs? Am I leading others by listening to their needs? 2, am I validating others' feelings by listening with my heart? Am I validating others' feelings by listening with my heart? 3, am I receiving the knowledge outside of myself by listening to the wisdom of others? Number 4, am I practicing humility every day? Am I being humble every day? And number 5, am I creating change that is moving our society forward by listening to others? Are you creating change by listening that moves our society forward? I know that's a lot. I know that it's counterintuitive that leaders would be servants and listeners, but I promise you that's the truth, and I promise that's the way that you're going to make the difference and be listened to yourself the most. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Go jump in a pool.